Hi everyone, Derek Hooper here. I want to talk a little bit today about how to generate maximum club head speed during the swing. There's a lot of misconception out there about, being a lot of effort with the upper body, yet when you're watching the players on television, whether it be the guys or the girls, it looks like they're really not making that big of an effort, yet the ball goes a long distance. And there's a reason for that. It's not the amount of effort you put in, but it's the order in which you move the body segments which helps you produce maximal club head speed. So today I'm going to show you a couple of drills out here on the tee that I like to use with players so they can get a better idea of how to sequence the body correctly and therefore how to generate a little more club head speed and obviously a little more distance. So when I have a player come along and they're a little underpowered, we look at their physique and how athletic they are, and yet the ball's not really going as far as it should. A lot of the time it's because they're not sequencing their body correctly and they're trying to do too much with their hands and arms and not utilizing the muscles they have in their legs and abdominal region and lower back to be able to generate some club head speed. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can do that a little better in your own golf swing and show you a drill that works really well for generating more club head speed. So first of all, what we see with players who tend to be underpowered, they make a reasonable backswing a lot of the time, but from here there's too much of this upper body motion and throwing the club, and the arms want to go early and they don't utilize this area of their body to help them generate speed. The reality is that we want to be here and let that lower body lead, and then as a result of the lower body leading and turning, the upper body then follows, then the arms, and the club head is last, and you get a much more of a whipping effect of the club head to the golf ball rather than a throwing effect that too many players want to do. So it's all about the sequencing of the motion rather than the amount of effort that you put in. A lot of times we'll see players go, wow, if I'm going to, they get up and they talk about wanting to swing the club hard, and we see a lot of this going on, and the club's not actually moving that much quicker. It's actually getting in worse position, so they make worse contact and the ball goes shorter. They're making more of an effort, but it's not a more efficient swing. So keeping in mind that the idea is we want to get that lower body to lead and then the arms to follow, a great drill for getting you to feel the sequence of the swing and how the body leads and the club moves last is a recoil drill that I've used with players. So I'll get players to start off and I'll get them to put the club this side, and then from there what I want them to do is to then turn the body to the right, dragging the club into the backswing, and then just before the club reaches the end of the swing I'll get them to recoil the body the other way, and you get this recoil effect where the lower body goes this way while the club's still going that direction, and you get that stretch effect and you start to get the feeling of how the lower body's going to lead and the club head gets into impact much later, but it has a whole lot more speed than what it does when you're just using the arms only. So the drill looks like this. Start the club here, I'm going to turn my body to the right first and then turn it back to the left. I'll do it again. So by doing that I get the effect of the club's going this way while my lower body's doing that. So lower body's going this way while the club's going that way. Nice strong recoil between upper and lower body. It allows me to get the lower body to unwind, and I start to use the muscles of my legs, my glutes, my abs, my lower back to all generate more club head speed. The arms still have their part to play, but it's just not as dominant as what it has been in the past. Now when I do this with players, the usual response I get is that, wow, I really don't feel like I'm swinging as hard. And the reality is the arms aren't doing as much as they used to because the body's now playing its part to produce more club head speed. So quite often I'll get players tell me, wow, I don't feel like I'm swinging as hard, but the ball's going further. And it's because it's more efficient, not because you're swinging the club harder. So when you're away and you're really thinking about trying to increase how far you hit the golf ball, think about making the swing more efficient. Don't think about trying to swing harder. And by efficient I mean getting the lower body involved to lead the downswing and then let the arms and the club follow as a result of that. And that recoil drill that I just showed you is the perfect drill to help you get that sensation.